Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlene for those of you who are new, and to my loyal subscribers, thank you as always for coming back. This video is very exciting because this is going to be my top 22 for 2022, and I have one honorable mention. I'm going to try to cover these fragrances in 22 minutes or less, and basically just tell you why I like them. How did I choose the fragrances? I basically went through my collection and selected the ones that I used the most, that I gave the most attention, or I highlighted the most on social media. And so I came up with a pretty exciting list that I think you guys will enjoy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy my top 22 for 2022. My honorable mention comes from the house of Nichane. I recently got this fragrance, but I had to mention it. Fan Your Flames is an intoxicating, boozy fragrance from the house of Nichane, and it wasn't really on my radar. I basically blind bought this fragrance because of the notes, and I have to say it was a very successful blind buy. This is sexy, this is a little irresistible, perfect for date night, and I cannot get enough of it. Coming in at number 22, I have Oud Saffron. This is by Orientica Perfumes. I have really enjoyed this, especially recently during the cooler months. This is along the lines of Lattafa Oud and Oud Bouquet by Lancôme. This is woody. It also has some gourmand qualities to it. It is super long lasting. I truly enjoy this. So if you're looking for something with a lot of depth, Oud Saffron is a great choice. The next one on my list is Crazy in Love. This is by Montale Perfumes. Don't forget to use my code SAVVY for 10% off if you decide to shop on the website. Crazy in Love is one of the newer fragrances from the house, and this one is beautiful. It is a rose-based fragrance with a lot of character. I've mentioned this before. When you look at the bottle, you definitely think of soft and feminine. It is the complete opposite. This is present. This is super long lasting. This has saffron, it has rose, a lot of the notes that I typically enjoy. This is super long lasting. If you're a fan of Montale fragrances, I definitely recommend checking out Crazy in Love. The next fragrance I grabbed a lot, especially during the spring and a little bit during the summer. I'm talking about My Way Intense. I love this fragrance on so many levels. This is super long lasting. I absolutely adore the packaging. This one is a floral fragrance that is unlike any other floral fragrance. This is super long lasting. It is very present. It has orange blossom and tuberose, an amazing blend from Giorgio Armani, and I absolutely adore it. The next fragrance comes from the house of Tom Ford. This is Black Orchid Parfum. This is a more concentrated, elevated version of the original Black Orchid. It is sexy, and honestly, I find them to be very similar. I do not think you need both. The main notes in this one is Black Orchid, Ylang Ylang, and Patchouli. If you like similar fragrances from Tom Ford with similar DNA, then I recommend this one. I have enjoyed using it. It definitely had to be part of my top 22 for 2022. Next up, we have Lovefest Burning Cherry 48. This is from K. Ali. In 2022, cherry fragrances had a serious presence in the perfume industry. Everybody was releasing something cherry based, and this one was super hyped on social media. Great marketing. For the most part, people love it. This one has burning cherry, raspberry praline. This is a very intense cherry fragrance, and it is very dark and smoky. When it settles on my skin, it is super sexy. Much more long lasting on my skin than I expected, honestly. It also has Gaiac wood and patchouli. This is an elevated cherry fragrance, very different from, I guess, what I've smelled before. So I truly enjoyed Lovefest, and like I mentioned, it definitely performed better than I expected. Especially in the dry down, it is absolutely beautiful. The next one on my list comes from Lattafa. This one is Oud for Glory, or Bade Al Oud. This is often compared to Initio's Oud for Greatness, and not only the packaging, y'all. I have tried Oud for Greatness, and the juice is absolutely like identical. If you want Oud for Greatness and you do not want to break a bank on the price tag of Initio, this one is a great dupe. I do not mind using dupes. I honestly use anything that smells great to me. I tend to mix this one a lot. This one smells amazing paired with some of the fragrances. With the Baccarat 540 DNA, it smells amazing. It pairs well with so many fragrances. It is very strong. So I would say this is a beautiful, spicy Oud fragrance. It is very vibrant, but it's also spicy with saffron and nutmeg and oud. Just an amazing fragrance, super long lasting. I enjoy it by itself and paired together with other fragrances. Simply stunning. Next up, we have Jazz Club. This is advertised as a male fragrance from Maison Margiela, but it is such a boozy, sexy fragrance. This has cognac in it. This is absolutely beautiful. I feel like great for a night out. It is bold, it is sexy, it is seductive even. This smells amazing on women and men alike. I find it to be perfectly unisex, honestly, and I enjoy using it. I love it for so many reasons. This was recommended by my friend Monique, and I was kind of skeptical. She's basically the one who convinced me to get this one, and I will say that I've enjoyed it tremendously. So this is Jazz Club by Maison Margiela. The next fragrance I have got a lot of hype last year, and this year I feel like it hasn't gotten as much hype, but that's expected because new fragrances come on the market, people are intrigued by new things, and so I totally still love it and enjoy it. The name is Almost Gone. This is Princess by Kilian. I don't need a prince by my side to be a princess. It's kind of iconic, really. They have changed up the packaging. I do prefer the original packaging. This is a blend of marshmallow, vanilla, as well as ginger. Love it. It is airy and beautiful and sexy. This is classified as a warm, sweet gourmand, and I just love it. So it still makes an appearance in my top list because I definitely reached for it a lot this year. So the next one comes from a fragrance house that I have a lot of fragrances from. Orientica Perfumes team have been very good to me this year. I got the opportunity to try so many fragrances from them. Exotic. This one has coconut, vanilla, sandalwood. It's a smooth, creamy fragrance. It does have bergamot, but I don't get that a lot. I get more of the sweetness and the creaminess from it. It is intoxicating. It is quite exotic, like the name suggests. It is just a beautiful fragrance. The packaging is phenomenal. The performance is great on these fragrances from Orientica. I would say that I love most of the fragrances from the house that I've tried so far, and I've tried quite a few. Some of them I love more than others, obviously, but Exotic makes an appearance because she's beautiful. I enjoy wearing this. When I feel like something a little smooth, a little comforting, I definitely go for Exotic, and it is so beautiful. Next up, we have one I featured over and over and over again. If you follow me on social media, you can attest to the fact that I have featured this a lot. I'm talking about La Belle from Jean-Paul Gaultier. Not only is the bottle absolutely stunning, this is a beautiful pear and vanilla infused fragrance. It has so much character and it's just sexy and beautiful. I'm definitely into this one. I always say that to me this is like a candied pear fragrance. Lasts pretty long on my skin. Overall performance is pretty good, and I just simply love the packaging. So at number 13 we have La Belle from Jean-Paul Gaultier. At number 12, I am revisiting the house of Orientica Perfumes. This one is Cuir de Orientica, my favorite from the de Orientica line. This one is a leather-based fragrance, which is shocking because not that long ago, I was not into leather fragrances. Like, you couldn't catch me even trying them because it just wasn't a note that I enjoyed. Now it's amazing how much I reach for leather-based fragrances, tobacco-based fragrances, and I just love this one a lot. So Cuir de Orientica, if you're into a leather woody fragrance, I recommend this one. Surprisingly, I get so many compliments when I wear this. I think I started getting compliments and then fell back in love with this fragrance. So this is spicy, it is leathery, it is woody. Some might argue that this is more masculine leaning, but I find it to be perfectly unisex because I wear it and I absolutely truly love it. Again, this is Cuir de Orientica. The next fragrance comes from the house of Fragrance du Bois. It is my only one from the house. I'm talking about Cavort. Cavort is opulence and luxury defined. This is an extrait de parfum. This is super pricey. When the Fragrance du Bois team reached out to me, I was beyond excited. Not only because I know the price tag to this, I also know the quality of fragrances that they create, and I was happy to try out one of the latest releases from the house. Cavort has many notes that I like. It's a very different fragrance. This one has saffron. It also has rose. The very first time I wore this, I went to a vineyard hard. It just made sense to wear it when I did that. And then I would wear this on the days when I feel a little more fancy. I would go for Cavort. With the saffron and rose, we do have incense, we do have patchouli. So it's a very interesting blend, very different. It's not your straight up rose fragrance. You're getting a fragrance that is super unique and super different in my opinion. And definitely worth a sniff. The packaging is luxurious. Thank you again to Fragrance du Bois for really introducing me to the house and gifting me such a gem. At number 10, we have Amber Fever from Mancera. I will be featuring another fragrance from the house, which you probably can guess which one. Amber Fever was a more recent acquisition thanks to the Mancera team. Use my code SAVVY for 10% off if you decide to shop the website. This one is so beautiful. It is not as strong as the next fragrance I'm about to talk about, but it is super long lasting, at least on my skin, and it's absolutely gorgeous. When I first spray Amber Fever, I found it to be very airy. It has roasted hazelnuts, whiskey notes, and tonka bean in the top. It also has rose, violet, and jasmine, so you have a good blend of floral notes in there, as well as caramel. It is such an interesting fragrance, yet still with such an interesting combination of notes. It's still very airy to me. Somehow they managed to make it still not heavy, not dense, but very airy. I truly enjoy this and look forward to wearing it more in the coming year. This is absolutely stunning. At number 9, I have Instant Crush. This I purchased on my own. Love the packaging, by the way. This one has way more presence, I feel like, at first spray than Amber Fever. This is not going anywhere. It is long lasting. It is a compliment getter. It is so, so beautiful. I love pairing it with like fragrances that have leather notes. It just makes it really ultra sexy. It's just an amazing combo whenever I pair this with leather based fragrances. Instant Crush has saffron and ginger, so it's spicy. It's a little airy. You do not need much from this fragrance because she will perform regardless. The next fragrance on my list, I had to have it. I absolutely had to have it. I'm talking about Pas Soir by BDK Parfums. This is fruity. This is airy. It is mouth-watering good. I sniff it and literally makes my mouth water. So I definitely reached out for Pas Soir earlier in the year, not so much now in the cooler months. This has a range of notes, like quite a long list, but the fruity aspect to it definitely stand out. Oh my God, why is this so good? I think this might be my scent of the day, y'all. We do have some woody notes in the base that makes it a little more elevated, but I would say that definitely at the forefront. If you like fruity fragrances, because this one is fruity fragrance defined, but so well blended, so elevated, Pas Soir definitely had to make the list this year because she is amazing. The next one I've raved about a lot. It comes from the house of Orientica, and this one is Romantic. This one is a rose-based fragrance like you've never sniffed before. This one is powerful. This is one of the most powerful rose fragrances I personally have ever tried. It's fresh, it's spicy, but it's also very rose heavy, in my opinion. The longevity is incredible. Performance is 10 out of 10. It reminds me of Atomic Rose, which many people say remind them of Delina exclusive. So if you like fragrances along those lines, I definitely urge you to check out Romantic by Orientica Perfumes. The next one on my list is another spicy, sexy fragrance. I had to add this one on my list because I have enjoyed this fragrance so much. This is Lattafa Oud de Parfum Rouge by Givenchy. This is, oh my gosh, so good. I think the entire Lattafa Oud line is worth having. If I had the money, I would get every single fragrance from the Lattafa Oud line because they're absolutely stunning. This one is warm, it's spicy, it's woody, it has so much character. You either love it or you don't. Obviously, I'm on the love side of things. You have ginger in this. This one has blood orange, sandalwood in the base to give it a little bit of smoothness. You have patchouli and vetiver, kind of like stepping things up a notch on this fragrance. And again, I would get the entire line if I could afford it. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. The next one is going to be a complete surprise because it is one of the most affordable on my list, and I've raved about this fragrance since I got it. I'm talking about Bare by Victoria's Secret. I wasn't ready for how much I would like this. This is Your Skin But Better. It basically works with your body's chemistry to form your own unique scent. An amazing innovation by Victoria's Secret. And when I wear this, I get compliments. It just like wraps on my skin in the best way. Not only is it long lasting, it is a compliment getter. It's not overwhelming or overpowering. People seem to really love it just overall. Great performance on this. I just absolutely love this fragrance. Can't get enough of it, and I highly recommend it. If I only had to recommend one fragrance from VS, it would be Bare because of just how beautiful it is. Musky, Your Skin But Better vibe, and very sexy if I do say so myself. At number 4, we have my baby. This is Atomic Rose by Initio Parfums Privés. This is very similar, in my opinion, to Romantic by Orientica Perfumes, or vice versa. However you want to look at it, they have the same dominating presence. I feel like this one is a little less spicy than Romantic. Overall, so similar. This is an Atomic Rose. It is like explosive. It's in your face, but in a very beautiful way. It like commands your attention, and I just absolutely love it. The performance, longevity, sillage on Atomic Rose is just perfection. This is definitely a pricey one. Obviously, it's from Initio Parfums Privés, but what makes it just truly impressive and amazing is the composition. Not only is the rose at the forefront of this fragrance, it is the queen of this fragrance. It is so striking and so present, like it cannot be denied. So Tom Ford makes another appearance on my list. We have a fragrance that has been discontinued, but I've seen it in certain stores. Like here at our local dealers, we still have Noir. This is Noir pour Femme. This is a sexy, irresistible, captivating, beautiful fragrance. If you want compliments, if you want to smell sexy, if you want to smell irresistible, Noir pour Femme is it. I've had lots of successful blind buys, and this one is one of them. This has notes of ginger, it has notes of coffee, which is like a dessert. The blend in this fragrance is just irresistible on all levels, and I just cannot get enough of it. I'll be so sad when it's done. I cannot tell how much of it I've used, but I know I've used quite a bit. So this I highly recommend if you want sexy, smooth, kind of irresistible. Get you Noir pour Femme if you can get your hands on it. I haven't spoken about this fragrance, so you know it was coming. This was like my number 1 last year. It's my number 2 this year. And I don't know, I have a special place in my heart for Intense Café. Intense Café is great in the cooler months, but I wear it year-round. I love how it sits on my skin. It's beautiful. It is a coffee rose blend with emphasis on the rose. The coffee just adds a little twist to it, honestly. It is absolutely beautiful. Use my code SAVVY if you shop on the brand's website for 10% off. You know I have to plug that in. And if you do use my code, thank you in advance for supporting the vibe. So why do I like Intense Café so much? I have to spray this one. Oh my God. It's so good. It's so good. It's irresistible. I cannot get enough of this fragrance, but there's something about it I simply cannot deny. The impact it has on my nose, the impact it has on me overall. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It doesn't matter how many new fragrances I add from Montale. This always is in my top. Like, it doesn't matter what I add because I love Arabian Stonka. I love Crazy in Love, like you saw. I love most of them, but this one is my heart. Like, I am a dedicated chica. Like, if I love something, you're gonna know. And if I love it, I'm gonna stick by it. I'm gonna stick beside it. And this is why Intense Café comes in at such a high number, because I cannot get enough of it. If you like rose, a little bit of coffee, you like vanilla, you're gonna love Intense Café. No question. And if you don't love it, give it another try and let me know what you think, because I feel like this fragrance is just amazing. It's amazingness in a can. because this is not a bottle. Anyway, you get the point. Which fragrance kicked Intense Cafe to the curb? You're gonna be super surprised, but maybe not so much, because if you've looked at my socials again, you probably have an idea which one is gonna be number one. The fragrance I reached for the most, I would say, in 2022, and the one I'm absolutely loving, the one people cannot stop complimenting me on, the one that I will need to buy another backup pretty soon because I'm almost halfway down, is Amber Rouge by Orientica Perfumes. I have most of the fragrances from the luxury collection, and this one is just super addictive. This one has been compared to Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait, or whichever version. As you can see, your girl has used this fragrance. Like, I know you can see that, right? I've reached for this fragrance. I've shared this fragrance with friends. I've recommended this fragrance. I just cannot, it has a chokehold on me and I cannot get away from it. But it's that good. It's that impactful, that good, that long lasting. It feels very luxurious. It's well blended. If you are into the Baccarat Rouge 540 DNA and you want something that's a little more affordable, I highly recommend this fragrance. It is so good. Amber Rouge is my number one fragrance for 2022 for so many reasons. I've featured it. I love it. It matches my shirt. It matches my lip. I actually dressed up just for this fragrance because I know that that was gonna be my number one for 2022. If you look at the scent profile, you will be able to easily compare it to some of the fragrances it has been compared to. So again, this is my baby. I love her, and she takes the number one spot for 2022. If you made it to the end, I want to thank you so much for hanging in there with me. Thank you for your support throughout the year, throughout the past 3 years. I'm growing slowly but surely, and all this is possible because of you. I hope 2022 has been good for you and that next year will be even better. I hope you enjoyed the list. Are there any favorites from my list? What did you think about my top 22 for 2022? Join the conversation below. Let me know what you think. Thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.